for today, training on elevator pitches and sizzle calls. So if we can master these are really, really good way to attract and engage prospects in a matter of seconds, right? That's the idea here. And they've been used for years and decades even, right? Um, it's even though the technology has changed, the concept of doing a quick overview, just in a nutshell kind of thing, something you could share with somebody on an elevator, it's always been there, right? And now, thank goodness, we have technology that allows us to do that even faster. So let's dive into it. What is a sizzle call? So a sizzle call is just a short, exciting pre-recorded call that introduces your business, right? And it can absolutely be a short video, right? I love the little 2 to 5 minute videos that you can share with people, and whether it's just through a text or a WhatsApp or a messenger, whatever. And what it does is it sparks that curiosity and it pre-qualifies people too, right? Because some people aren't a good fit for whatever it is we're doing, and that's okay. So if we send them a quick little video and they're just like, nope, that's okay. We can filter them out and not waste time, right, on doing a whole presentation with them. So, and it of course sets up a conversation. Now the key element is that it's got to be short, 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's got to be high energy and engaging, and it's got to have a call to action, right? So why use them? Well, it saves time. There's no need to explain everything repeatedly. It creates curiosity. Okay, people want to know more. It filters out those serious prospects, only interested people that you want to follow up with, and it actually creates duplication because it's so easy. Anybody can do it, right? Anybody can send out a link to a call that people can dial into, or a video, or whatever. So super easy to use, which is great. So how do you use it effectively? Well, the first thing you want to do is send it, to both your cold and warm markets, right? So if you have friends and family, neighbors, whatever, hey, great. Here you can kind of tweak the message for them, but you can also send it to your cold market, people you don't even know at all, right? You can tweak the message for them and say, hey, I see that you're an entrepreneur, and I have this little thing I'd like you to look at. And you can put the link to it maybe on a business card and a text and a voicemail, whatever, and people will get a chance because it's so short. They'll take the time to watch it, right? So you send out either the link or the number, okay? But the key thing to all of this is the follow up, right? Because if you don't follow up, you're never going to get somebody to have a conversation with. The idea is that you're actually now going to communicate with this person and offer a solution. So you have to do the follow-up question. What did you like best, right? What did what really resonated with you on that video or that call that I sent you, right? Follow up with them. Okay, now the elevator pitch is a little bit different because this is something you're doing in person, basically, right? This is not a link. This is not a video that you're sending out, right? This is actually something where you can explain to somebody within 30 to 60 seconds what it is you do and why. So, with what purpose? To grab people's attention and get them to want to learn more so that you can then either give them your business card or capture, somehow their information, right? Just say, hey, what's your email? Um, what's your phone number? I can text you the sizzle call, right? I can text you the video later. Okay. So this is really when you just have a few seconds at the grocery store while you're waiting in line, or while you're sitting on the park bench next to somebody, or whatever it is, right? Wherever you're at, you just have a quick 30 seconds, and the idea is you just want to get their information to see if they're open to receiving a little bit more, right? So and really what it consists of is, what is the problem, right? And what is it that you plan to solve? Okay. So you got the problem, the solution, and then the call to action, right? Just real quick. Here's the problem. People are suffering. The economy is crazy. People need an extra $500 a month, whatever it is, right? And so I've got a solution. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm dealing with it. I'm helping people with their health or their wellness or their finances or whatever it is. And hey, can I text you? Can I have you come to a meeting? Can I have you, can I send you a sample, whatever it is, right? And away you go. So here's the bottom line though. Gone are the days of meticulously developing one single elevator pitch, right? That you can presumably cover every situation. So rote messages are comparable to receiving an email from some prince in a mysterious village that wants to share his riches with you, right? It's no, you didn't sign up for it, but it came anyway out of the blue without any consideration. So we don't want to come across as spammy, right? So before we plow ahead and just blurt out some prepared message, we always want to assume that the person we're talking to is tuned into the WIIFM, or what's in it for me. Okay. So we got to make it about them and focus on their needs. So first we're going to observe, right? We're going to observe their dress, their eyes, their facial expression, what they're holding, what is unique about them. Okay. Second, we're going to care. We're going to care about them. So as we're observing them, we're going to do it without judgment or scrutiny, because for this to work, you actually have to care about somebody, right? Besides the person next to you with layers peeled away, they're really not that different from you or me, right? We all have pretty much the same needs and wants, right? We want to get ahead in life. We want to solve some kind of problem. And then the third thing, of course, is to cater, right? So we're going to cater that first question. So after you've consciously done those first two steps, we're going to be able to easily tailor a question for that specific individual. So, for example, hey, that's a nice suit that you got on. What do you do for a living? Or, oh, hey, it looks like you're headed to the gym. Where do you go? Right? So it's specific to them. So that first step is all about being interested, and it shows that you actually noticed them and what they're doing. Okay. Now we're going to go into the segue of doing an interesting line, right? So as we listen intently to the person's response to that lead question, their response is going to be part of their story, right? Their experience and part of who they are. So we're going to try and empower that connection by listening and actually responding to them. So, we shouldn't be surprised if the same question you ask boomerangs back to you, right? Oh, what do you do, right? when this happens, it's time to tell your story, okay? So that's the perfect opportunity now to tell your story. And the best stories begin with an interesting, if not intriguing, opening line. For example, okay, it is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. That's from Pride and Prejudice, right? By Jane Austen. Or it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. That's from The Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Or somewhere in La Mancha, in a place whose name I do not care to remember, a gentleman lived not long ago, from Don Quixote. Or in my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since, The Great Gatsby. So, what would be your opening line? Okay. What's the beginning of your story? Well, here's some examples. You know, I work for the kind of company where everybody is rewarded for their contributions and not their title. Or I spend my time helping others earn an extra $500 a month by becoming sharers and givers. Or I love working out just as much as I love mixing up a delicious protein shake afterward for recovery, right? For those that might sell protein shakes. So lots of ways to kind of really, an impactful opening line, right? However, we want to make sure that we're not going over the top. We're not having bloated sentences, right? Remember, we only have 30 seconds here. Okay. So we got to keep it simple. So the ease of what you do, what your life is like, or where you are now, see, it sounds pretty seamless, right? So we're going to use words and phrases that elicit interest in our prospect, and not words that mean something to you, given you're already a distributor in your company. Okay. So don't dive into active versus qualified or upline and all these kind of different jargon, right, that we hear in our industry. We're going to simplify our message. and confidently broadcast how fun and easy it can be. And much like you began, you're going to want to end with an intriguing cliffhanger to promote or prompt a response. So, for example, I spend my time helping others earn an extra $500 a month or more by becoming sharers and givers. It's truly been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Plus, the products we share are incredible. I started doing it part time 2 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's something that has given me the opportunity to pursue my passion and have extra time to spend with my family. Boom. Right? Oh, okay. So now, if you have that intriguing opening line and hook, the person that you're talking to might naturally start to ask some questions, right? And this is ideal because now you're going to know from their questions that your elevator speech has done its job at piquing their interest, and you can actually naturally move forward to setting up a meeting, right? But if the person you're talking to doesn't respond by asking questions, now you can actually insert a clear and concise call to action question at the end. Okay. So, for example, you're no different from me, and I'll bet this is something you could do and excel at as well. Can I call or email you tonight with more information? Or will you come to a free meeting with me tomorrow to learn more and maybe taste the product? Right? Because time is tight, your goal is to meet them again under more favorable circumstances. A crowded subway or elevator is not the place to outline everything. Okay. So that is not the goal of the elevator pitch. All right. So now the other thing is we want to practice, record, and repeat because that's how you get good at something, right? We all heard the phrase practice makes perfect. So nothing can be more powerful than watching yourself in action. Professional athletes do it, right? They record themselves in order to improve their fine intricacies, whether it's golf or pitching or swimming or whatever it is. Okay. Hollywood stars do the same thing, right? To make sure their facial expressions and movements fit the character that they're portraying. So we need to do the same. We need to create a real life situation, set up the phone or camera, and record ourselves giving the elevator pitch to a friend or a spouse. And then we're going to replay that recording to watch ourselves and kind of see what it is we need to improve on. So, for example, do we talk too much with our hands? Do we avoid making eye contact? Do we tend to sway back and forth when we talk? Do we sound overly excited or passionate? Do we sound monotone? So, to polish up even more and get feedback, we can do it with other people so they can tell us, hey, this is what I thought, this is what you could improve on. And they can offer some amazing tweaks. Then we're going to practice it again and again and again and again until we feel confident and comfortable. We're going to notice, notice I didn't say until your speech is perfected, right? Truth be told, we're going to always feel a little bit nervous, right? Whenever we approach a complete stranger. But that's okay because the authenticity that comes with that actually goes a long way, right? If it sounds too perfect, then they're going to notice that. They're going to think, you're making this up, right? But as you practice your speech, it's going to become easier and more comfortable. And of course, we don't want to ever get hung up on being perfect. Okay. Just because once you get the basics down, you can then work on changing it up and adapting it to different situations, right? If we just memorize something, then we're not going to be that flexible. Okay. So we want to get to the point where we can begin practicing emotional, humorous, serious, casual, or hurried approaches. All right. So here's the idea. We're finally going to serve the rest of the tables because it's really all about numbers. Okay. It's a numbers game. Okay. We have to recognize that. So just because you're practiced and polished, it doesn't mean that everyone will automatically be drawn in and say yes. So some people will still say no, and that's okay. Learn what you need to learn from the experience and just get ready to reach out to the next person. The main thing is not to take rejection personally, which is so easy to say, I know. Personal rejection is one of the toughest things to experience, and some rejections are harder to swallow than others. And dealing with rejection is an ongoing task. However, accepting a no is merely part of the process for finding those who say yes. So think of yourself as a waiter. Okay, this is an example. For those that have been waiters, I did waitering for about a year when I was in college. And so I know this. When you walk around and you're offering water to people, right? You're just going to refill their water glass. Okay. Some customers are going to say no, right? And you're like, no, no, thanks. I have plenty. Or some are even going to say, I hate water. right? Why are you offering me water? I want my Coke or whatever, right? But the waiter doesn't stop serving the rest of the customers just because three people said no. No, they continue to offer the water, searching for those who would like to have what they are actually offering, right? Because there's going to be some that will say, yes, I want water. So that's pretty similar to what we're doing with the elevator pitch. By using your elevator speech, you're providing the person with enough information so they can see if what you're offering is right for them and for their life at that particular time. And if the answer is no, then don't be afraid to just approach the next table. So that's it, my friends. Elevator speech, and then of course that leads into the Sizzle call or the Sizzle video that you can send to them. Very very easy to do. Everybody can do it. You know, we don't require any special training or any special technology or anything like that. Everybody can learn to do their own little personal pitch, whatever it is they're promoting, and then have that little 2 to 5 minute recording available so you can email it to them, text it to them, or whatever, and then that will lead into actually setting up a meeting. So with that, we'll call it a Saturday. Thanks so much for jumping on with me today, and we will stay in touch. Thanks, everybody.
Good job, Jeremy. Thanks.
You.